Rahubat Yasar. Welcome to another Patarak reading with the Supreme Grand Council of 24 Elders. Anuki, Kex and Ray. Panashad will be read by Rektusa Hotep.
Rahubat Yasar, Anuki Rektu Sahotep, Pa Nashad, Anuki Dakal Pa Ashak M Pa Pa'ut, Wu Kal Ashak Kawan Dakal Ni, Anuki Kasamun Afaf Pa Pa'ut, Wu Pa Pa'ut Kawan Kasamun Afaf Ni, Anuki Wahu Ama Pa Pa'ut, Wu Pa Pa'ut Kawan Wahu Ama Ni. Nuk kadu naju ama kasamun impa pa'ut, wu kabub ama sakasun. Nuk kadu kawan kalal pafaf nuk ragub dakal papa ut, talama ragabni kawan bakai dakal papa ut, anuki yabad binafasni, papa ut kawan anuki, papa ut kadu nuk kadu. Papa ut amu nuk amu tawkum.
Proclamation. Return to your own Nuwapian. 1. Likum. Learn to live for, of, and by each other Nuwapu, Nuwapians. 2. Learn to love and care for each other Nuwapu, Nuwapians. 3. Learn to respect and trust each other Nuwapu, Nuwapians. 4. Learn to protect and support each other Nuwapu, Nuwapians. 5. Learn to recognize that each Nuwapu Nuwapian is you, and you are each other Nuwapu Nuwapians. 6. Learn that you were once a baby, then a child, then an adult, then an elder. Remember the stages of life you passed through, and treat each other the way you wish to be treated, Nuwapu Nuwapians. 7. Learn to accept who and what you are, born and your origin on this planet as a being misplaced by other than self and kind. Return to your own Nuwapu, Nuwapians. 8. Learn to respect only those of other races who respect you for who they know you really are. The first race on this planet, the first race created, the children chosen to be born on the best and richest part of this Kawak Taha, planet Earth, Africa, as Afafree Kau, Africans, Nuwapu, Nuwapians. 9. Learn to be proud and honored for your noble birth. Each one teach one. Reject what is not yours. Return what was forced upon you of foreign religions, beliefs, cultures, languages, and way of living. Live and die only for your own Nuwapu, Nuwapians. Patarak will be read by Nasutat, Hatat, Shapaptat, Satak, Atun Reye.
Rahubat Yasar. I am Nasutat, Hatep, Shabtat, Satak, Atun Reye. Tonight's Patarak is Soul Spirit. Likum. My beloved Nuwapu, Karad-u, Nuwapian children, you asked about the soul and the spirit. 2. Do you know and remember all I said to you of them? And you asked females and males. 3. Nuwapu, Nuwapians, I told you of Bah, soul, and Ra'ak, soul. 4. And I spoke to you about Ka, spirit, and Nefas, spirit. 5. And about Aak, etheric being, and Ku, oversoul. 6. And you asked again about these parts of your existence. 1. Pa-Ku, the overbeing. 2. Pa-Ak, the etheric beings. 3. Pa-Ba, the creative, expressional beings. 4. Pa-Rawah, the breath of the living beings. 5. Pa-Ka, the exoplasmatic beings. 6. Pa-Nefas, the living beings. 7. Pa-Kat, the physical beings. 8. Pa-Kabat-u, the demigods that are children. Pa-Munzdar-u, called angelic beings, both agreeable and disagreeable. Some were cast out from above and became known as Nephilim, fallen ones. They call them Elohim in the Bible and Alihat in the Quran. The agreeable ones are called Malakim, and the disagreeable ones are called Molech. They come in 3 groups: 1. Milkan, 2. Moloch, 3. Melech. The 2 most known are the disagreeable ones are called Cherubim, and the agreeable ones are called Seraphim. The Sumerians called them Anunnaki. The Chaldeans called them Anakim and Rephilim. They are tribes. Also, the Islamic faith of the Quran called them Jinn, who can be in human form both as males and females. Some came down to Pa-Kawak-Tah, the planet Earth, called sons of gods, and had sex with human women. The results were wicked offsprings of demigods, being half divine and half human. Most turn out to be demon persons of greed, lust, and preternatural cruelty. These are born by mixing genetics of deities with genetics of humans. Both males and females are Kabat-u and are linked to the evil race in earth. So they come in all races, yet serve the Khan, the Canaanite, in action and deeds, the original fallen ones, the Moloch, Cherubim, Huhi. 7. As you see, my children, you are many beings as supreme beings, all in one, unique. 8. The beings is both etheric and atomic, physical and before physical, that is, naught equals no thing, ought equals thing. 9. Or the sum of a thing, and without sum, amount total, arithmetical problems, summaries, weight, volume, density, and matter. 10. It is called Kawan, be and wajad, exist. 11. So beings can exist as in be found, yet not begin. Start at H or hydrogen, which comes up as hydrodynamics, hydrostatics, hydrokinetics, and hydroelectrics. 12. So for years the Canaan-u, the Canaanites, misinformed the world with the lie that all existence come down to the lightest atom, which or whom they call the hydrogen atom, H. 13. Now they have been forced by actual facts to rethink their lie by accepting that there exists subatomic beings. 14. Again, they say subatomic matter and even antimatter. 15. So before the hydrogen was being is. 16. And from hydrogen came or she birthed all elements of matter and gas and liquids. 17. Yet they all exist. They are art. 18. They all have substance, essence, and it really means substantial, sub, below, downward, under, and stantial, solid, important. 19. Substantiate. Bring evidence for substantiation. 20. And the male's physical body becomes subsistent, or as antimatter, male is subdued and is very subtle into making the female submit by subline or inspiring and in time she became the subordinate being, as she is a housewife, a girlfriend, or sexual partner, and became subservient. 21. Nuwapu, Nuwapians, you wish to know why and how has she given up and into men. 22. So I return you to the meaning, as I often do, for in meaning you find reason. 23. So let you both female and male reason together. 24. First we look at Paku, the overbeing or soul, pre-existence being of mental. 25. And then we look at Pa'ak, the etheric being or creative expressions, which is linked to all as an energy double. 26. Pa'ak vibrates 1 through 10 levels, and 10 is only a repeat of the first level on a higher dimension. 10 is, in fact, 1 again. 27. And then we look at Paba, called the soul, creative expressions of emotional beings. 28. And there is a counter soul called in our language Pa-Rawah, called also the soul. 29. Yet it is breath or wind and affects the body actions. 30. It ignites with the first human breath of air or the mixture of gases, ether, one breath, the atmosphere or breath. 31. And then we look at Pa-Ka, called the spirit. Ghost plasma comes into being at the moment of sperm and ovum contact of spermatozoa, fertilizing an octate or egg. 33. The sperm head is the spark. It thinks it travels in the liquid or fluids in the womb through the heat to survive and reach its destiny. 34. So there is mental activity in the male sperm from the brain of the male from being the oversoul called synapse, brain synapse. 35. It's nutat, brain nuts. The thinking process started in the 2 testicles, Pa-Kasatwi, creates Pa-Manan, the sperm, the semen or seed-man, liquid male seed. 36. This is divine mind at work. 37. Yet the female holds the egg that must be fertilized, making her mouth, her mother earth, physical nature as infertile, fruitful, producing abundantly, fertility, fertilized or pure earth, which is called the fertilizer. 38. So in fact, women do not nor did not need the male. 39. She, like many other creatures, can create a daughter cell inside equipped to form her ovum. 40. This act of childbirth can be performed without the male, as she used to be able to perform before she fell in love with her own son, the male. 41. Male and replace the mother role for as a mate. 42. This process by which it happened is the Bartholin gland within the woman, which is located on both sides of the vaginal orifice, that secretes a lubricating mucus. 43. It is equivalent to the bulbourethra gland in the male, which is located below the prostate, and it discharges a component of seminal fluids into the urethra. 44. The prostate secretes a thin milky fluid with a charismatic odor. 45. The fluid constitutes The greater part of the thinking, acting, seeming, swimming fluids that travels by its own will in competition with 7,777,777 other beings. 46. So it has mind as mind, linked to mental, melts down to fluids from energy, brain, synapse, the total being, and the thinking mel, nutat, the nuts. 47. This is the life of the living spermatozoa. 48. And a woman was capable of reproducing seminal fluids on their own internally, without the male ejaculation in her womb. 49. Nuwapians, just as you see that once a female has a male sexual partner, over time they will begin to act alike. 50. Even in some cases, look alike. 51. That is because a woman is a shapeshifter, controlled by her 8 telomeres in her chromosomes, being the mammal. 52. Just as if a group of women live together, eventually their monthly cycles can line up or change to sync up on the same month. 53. And it has been confirmed that when a woman is ovulating, that is when she starts to release eggs from her ovaries. 54. That she physically shapeshifts on the outside to attract the male donor, even making herself younger inside and outside in. 55. To donate his sperm to be more sexually active. The female actually transforms herself, gives herself so that there are 2 souls and 2 spirits linked to the cat physical you. 71. Now least you forget, Nuwapians, that both genders are mistakenly called mammals, warm-blooded animals, but the breastfed their young, that carries their young on the inside. 72. So in fact, that would be the female, the woman, the mother. She needs to shapeshift into another person. 73. A child of young, out of whichever age, so she uses her chromosomes to regress in age. 74. Why you say she looks fresh and better while she's pregnant. 75. Not the male human being, he does not do these things. 76. So in fact, it is not really a mammal, but those definitions. 77. The male Saye, man, father, does not breastfeed, nor does he carry the fetus in a womb. 78. So in fact, he is not a mammal by that. 79. The female Sayatat, woman, like all other animals, is the creator of nature's rules. 80. And like rules and regulations, they can be changed or change on their own, even mutate. 81. She, as a mammal, was first, yet as all animals has a living spirit. 82. The male also has a living spirit. 83. He's also in flesh and animal. 84. The man or Sayu'u, men are mental. 85. The women or Sayutat-u, women are physical. 86. Shaye, man is not greater than Sayatat, the woman. 87. And Sayatat, woman, is not greater than Saya, man. Both are equal children of Pa-man-zadar-u. 88. Both are formed out of water or liquid, as you read in their Bible, Job 26:5 and Quran 25:54. 89. Just as in Wunuwap, the octoads, Pa-kaman-u, the chaotic waters, so Nun-tet and Nun. 90. So when you see these Safafat hieroglyphics, 91, they are symbolic and have meaning. Nun-tet is a snake being as a female. 92. Nun is a frog being as a male, symbolic of sperm cells, tadpoles, and from the waters is the 3 water symbols, because you live in water in the womb for 3 gestations. 93. The 3 new bowls represent the 3 stages of metamorphosis while in the womb. 94. A snake as a tadpole with a tail on to a gray to a humanoid. 95. And the loaf of baked bread stands for the feminine, tat. The blood or flesh is the bread of the physical life. 96. Baked in her ovum or oven, the womb, Pa-raham. 97. the sperm mentally generated genetic outformation, and to the ovum physically generates genetic information. 98. The male came from Sahat Orion. 99. The female came from Sabatat Sirius. 100. For the seeding of Pa-Kawata, the planet Earth, the then water, or the blue planet. 101. So it is the celestial male. 102. And it is the terrestrial female. 103. Gender is ingenious, that is, clever at contriving, ingenuity, skills in planning. 104. And came long after beings. 105. It is based on the female as ingenuous or artless, the young girl, ingenious or innocence. 106. The be feminine or masculine. 107. Both physically female and mentally male, and those first formed, or the hermaphrodite and the hermaphrodite. 108. So in nature there exists no extremes. 109. First there existed nature or neutral neutron, uncharged particles of atoms and cells. 110. So none the wiser. You are equal in your responsibilities or your abilities to respond. Responsibility on Ta Earth. 111. Both are incarnations. 112. Yet the mother is the shapeshifter, and once she loves the male, spends time with him too much, she changes to eat what he wants, to have sex when he wants. 113. To dress as he pleases of her, to exchange more of his fluids than he of hers. She begins to shapeshift. 114. For each male she was with, after 4 males, his fluids overpower hers. 115. She's lost her powers and submit. 116. As you were told in the old school, read in their Bibles the books of Numbers chapter 30 verses 1 through 16. It speaks about the spirit and the souls of women. Read now. And Moses spake unto the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying, This is the thing which the Lord hath commanded. 2. If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceedeth out of his mouth. 3. If a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth. 4. And her father hear her vow, and her bond wherewith she have bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she have bound her soul shall stand. 5. But if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth not any of her vows, or her bonds wherein she have bond her soul shall stand, and the Lord shall forgive her, because her father disallowed her. 6. And if she had at all an husband when she vowed or uttered aught out of her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, and her husband heard it, and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then her vow shall stand. 8. But if her husband disallowed her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, of non-effect, and the Lord shall forgive her. 9. But for every vow of a widow and of her that is divorced, wherewith they have bound their soul, shall stand against her. 10. And if she vowed in her husband's house, or bound her soul by a bond with an oath. 11. And her husband heard it, and held his peace at her, and disallowed her not, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she bond her soul shall stand. 12. But if her husband have uttered, made them void on the day he heard them, then whatsoever proceedeth out of her lips concerning her vows, or concerning the bond of her soul, shall not stand. Her husband have made them void, and the Lord shall forgive her. 13. Every vow in every binding oath to afflict the soul, her husband may establish it, or her husband may make it void. 14. But if her husband altogether hold his peace at her from day to day, then he establishes all her vows or all her bonds which are upon her. He confirmeth them, because he held his peace at her in the day that he heard them. 15. But if he shall in any way make them void after he have heard them, then he shall bear her iniquities. 16. These are the statutes which the Lord commandeth Moses between a man and his wife, between the father and his daughter, being yet in her youth in her father's house. 117. First his father, then her husband, then her sons. 118. Once the goddess falls in love with a god, both physically and mentally, she is given over her own will, her soul. 119. The male or many males rule her inside out and outside in. 120. All animals have what is needed to transfer life to living. 121. The matrix is the matron and the matriarch. 122. The females are rulers of the physical world, for she has the mitochondria DNA needed to transfer genes and gender. 123. And it is affected by this terrestrial world by her emotions, while she carries or builds or created, fashioned, and formed the child while in her womb. 124. Yet the male is linked to Paku, the oversoul, which is linked to the mental. Look, mental. 125. Mental equals mental. It existed before some weight and cells. No mammals. Above controlling forces, man impulate. Male sperm infest the womb. Millions of living creatures. Mal. Below sub, forces of nature. Motive, nourish, nurture. Female, breastfeeding her young. 126. Once a female submits to a male sexually or otherwise, she begins to transform for him. Some of it good if he is a good man. 127. He will receive his manhood from a woman, his first sexual interaction, so he seeks to rule as many as he can from the first on. 128. The woman transforms him from a boy or a child to a man. 129. He takes control of their lives. 130. She learns to follow him and surrenders her own outer choices for him. 131. As a mother, she is born by her very nature to serve her offspring. 132. And all males are in fact her offspring, so she seeks to please him. 133. And in so doing gave her soul to him and them. 134. Once she has had over 4 different men sexually or drank of their bodily fluids, it is very hard to regain her godship, her goddessship. 135. Yet it can be done by rituals and rites. Tawakum Yasar.
I Am Who I Am will be read by Katie Ma'at Ray.
Anatiki Katie Ma'at Ray. I am who I am. 1. I have been with you because I love you all. I am Zedi, Zetwi, Zedi, Parmanzal, Nazdar, Amun Nabab, Reye, Akakpata, Zedi. I will soon depart from you. I incarnate from time to time to renew our timeline. I am here which is there now. My time to depart is near. So I only wish you knew who I was to you. I will return again and again. Look for me in the wind, look for me in the waters, look for me in the soil, look for me in your dreams. I will reincarnate again when needed. This is my findings. 1. They look at me, yet they don't see the real me. 2. They listen to me, yet they don't hear what I'm really saying. 3. They have touched me, and still they were not able to feel me. 4. They have kissed me, yet they did not love me. 5. They were born of my genes, yet they are not my child. 6. They followed me, yet not close enough. 7. They came to me, yet they did not stay. 8. They smiled with me, yet they did not mean it. 9. They greeted me, yet and still never meant it. Welcome.
Taukum Yasa. Please tune in every shadow at 8 p.m. for another Patriarch, and at 9 a.m., 3 p.m., and 9 p.m. for chanting with the Supreme Grand Council of 24 Elders. Wadu Yasa.